Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to learn how to play like a winger or a wide midfielder. So the first thing we need to identify is what is the role of a winger. So obviously the first thing we need to talk about is your position on the pitch. As a winger, your job is to operate the width of the pitch. So your duties in the attack are to either beat the fullback and get a cross in for somebody else to score, or you can even cut in and get a shot off yourself. So you're a very creative player on the pitch and you have a big influence in the attacking play. And the reason I love being a winger is because it's that one position on the pitch that is the less risky place to lose the ball. So you can take a lot of risks, you can be very creative in the attack, and if you do turn the ball over, it's not a risky place for the opposing team to have the ball. They can't get a shot off from the wing, they have to build the play again. On the flip side, you also need to be defensively aware as well. Especially in the modern game, outside backs and fullbacks are almost like wingers these days. They're almost like hybrid wingers. So you need to be aware of your opposing outside back, making sure he's not doing overlapping runs outside your winger and receiving the ball and getting crosses in or shots off. That's your man to track as well. And when your team's defending, you're tucking in and helping the back four and midfield defend as a unit. So now let's talk about the attributes that are required to be a successful winger. So the first one is either speed or quick feet. Ideally you want to have both, but if you have one over the other, you can still get away with being a good winger. So if you want to learn some quick feet drills that are going to increase your foot speed, click on the link right here and it'll take you to a training session that's going to improve your quickness of your feet. And if you want to get faster as a player as well, also click the link right here. This is going to take you to a workout that's going to improve your speed. But the reason we need that is because we want to be very dynamic. We've got to go at our fullbacks a lot, and you can either use speed to get around him, knocking the ball past him and beating him with speed, or if you're not the quickest of players, as long as you have quick feet to trick him into going one way and then take it in the other, you can get that 2-3 yard advantage that is enough to either get a cross in, or if you're going the other way, get a shot off as well. Another attribute that's very important is fitness and stamina. You actually need to be one of the fittest, if not the fittest player on the pitch. So you need to support the attack at one end of the pitch, but you also need to support in defence at the other end of the pitch. So you're pretty much covering the whole length of the pitch backwards and forwards multiple times a game. And if you do want to improve your fitness in a very soccer specific way, click on the link right here which will take you to some drills that will show you to really improve your fitness in a soccer specific way to prepare you to play as a winger. So another attribute that you need to have is a good first touch, because playing out on the wing, you're usually quite a distance from your other teammates. So a lot of the balls are played in the air. So you need to get good at receiving balls from the aerial situation. So I'm just going to show you a few touches right now. The key is to really soften that touch and give it a cushion effect. Pluck it out the air. So as you can see, when I'm plucking it out the air, I'm using the top of my foot. It is a lot easier to use the inside of your foot because you have a wider surface area, but if you do receive it with the inside of the foot, usually you need a couple of touches to get it down so that you can play it off again. When you receive it on the top of the foot, you're really able to get it nice and low, so it's almost killing the ball in one touch. So let's show you a couple more. So you can see it's dead. Now I can get it out my feet and play it back. Watch what happens when I use the inside of my foot. So it kind of has to pop up when you're using the inside of your foot, and it takes a little bit more time. When you get to the top level, the speed of the game gets a lot quicker, so you want to get that ball under control as quick as possible so that you can make your next move. Now there are often times on the wing where you get stuck in trouble and you've got a defender on you and there might not be the opportunity to play the ball back, play a pass inside, so you have to get out of trouble. And through that you can use a couple of crafty moves that I've tried to master that have really helped me get out of trouble in these situations. And they're very simple, but they're very effective. So the first move is a stop and start. We're using the Cohen as a pretend defender, and what we're doing is we're going to dribble to the ball, stop it, and what happens when you stop the ball is the defender goes flat-footed because he stops with you. And then when he goes flat-footed, you start again. Because then he has to take off from a flat-footed position and you're going to have a speed advantage over him. You're going to have that 2-3 yard advantage to make your next move. So I'll just demonstrate for you really quick. Next move I'm going to show you another very simple one. Some call it the inside, but it's Iniesta's signature move. Other people call it La Croqueta. So we've got a defender here right on the line, and there doesn't seem like a possible way out. But what we're going to do is a quick switch of the feet. So we're going to show the defender the ball, and as he starts to make his move, you're going to shift that ball past his foot and then take it with the other foot down the line. But it's got to be nice and quick because you need to accelerate straight after to get away from him. So I'm just going to show you it at full speed. A great move you can use on the wing is the classic nutmeg. So for this move, you want to be in a situation where the defender's alongside you. So you're on the line and he's coming in either from the center here, or you're at full speed or running down the wing and he's running alongside you. And there's two ways you can do this. Either he's coming in from the side and you're going to fake to go line by just stepping your foot over the ball and then playing it through his legs. We're just using the hurdle for simulation. So as you play that foot over, he thinks you're going down the line, so he starts to step that way with his foot, opening up his legs. You knock it through and you're away.
So you find your way back home.
The second way you can perform this move is when the defender is running alongside you as you're dribbling. So as you're running, your legs are opening every couple of seconds. And if you time it well and he's running alongside you, you can knock it through his legs and get on the other side and still retrieve the ball, and he's out of the game. So that's a very effective way as well. So kind of like this. We're just going to use the hurdle for simulation. So you're dribbling alongside and you just knock it through. 3 very simple but 3 very effective moves that you can use as a winger to make your game even better. So now we're going to talk about how we go at the fullback when we have some space, when we've received that pass and we've isolated the fullback one-on-one. To help me out with this, we've got Andrew from Boost Football, but he's going to be acting as the defender. Now what typically happens, what I see a lot with especially younger players, when they receive the ball out on the wing, they see a defender, and instead of going at the defender, they try and get away from him. They try and just take it end line, or they try and take it inside. But look what happens when I take it end line. I've just made it so easy for Andrew to defend me there, because all he has to do is try and keep up with me and stop me getting the cross in. Now I'm going to show you a more effective way that you can dribble at fullback and pretty much beat him more times than not. And I'm going to talk you through about what Andrew's movements are like as I dribble at him, just so you can understand better why this is so effective for beating players one-on-one. So let's go. So let's look at this again in slow motion so we can really see what's going on. As I approach Andrew, I'm straight on and I'm taking a small touch of the ball with every step to keep it tight to my foot. Now start to have a look at Andrew, the defender's body position. So he's trying to anticipate where I'm going. Because I'm going straight at him, he's trying to guess and he's forced to make a decision. So he thinks I'm going end line. It's shown in his body language with his hips and also his feet. Look at his feet, they're both pointing towards the direction he thinks that I'm going to go. So I've recognised this, so I've started to make a decision that I want to go inside, because that's the space that he's not marking. So as I make my touch, I put all my momentum behind it and get into a full sprint. Now have a look at Andrew's feet again. All his weight is going towards where he thought I was going to go, so he's completely off balance at this point. Now look at my body language. I'm completely putting all my momentum into the direction that I want to go. So that counteracting with his body language is going to allow me to get away nice and easy. Let's look at a different example now. So as you can see, I've took the ball the other way this time. So what's happened is I've started to make my move to go inside like I did the first time, but Andrew's tried to anticipate it because he's thinking that I'm getting predictable now. So now this space has become unavailable, but as I've kept the ball tight to my foot, I'm able to switch and go in the opposite direction. Because look at his body language now. He's tried to anticipate that I was going inside again this time. Both feet are pointing in that direction, so he's off balance again, and now my momentum's taking it to the opposite side. So again, makes it very easy to get away from him. Now let's look at an in-game example so we can see this move performed in a real match. So I receive the ball from the goalkeeper, turn, immediately start going at my defender. Now look at the defender I've just beaten. He's completely on the ground at this point, so it's very easy to get away from him. But let's see why that happened. So as I turn on the ball, I immediately start dribbling towards him. As we talked about, we're not trying to get away from him, we're going directly at him because we want to make him try and anticipate where we're going. He's trying to anticipate that I'm going inside, so all his hips and body language is facing inside. So I recognise that the space to the other side of him is now unmarked. And as I knock it, he tries to turn 180 degrees, and because it's at full speed, he's off balance and falls over. And I go on to actually score a goal. So now we're going to look at another example. I've received the ball out on the wing. Instead of going end line, I've decided to go at my defender, cut inside and get a shot off, and win a corner for my team. So let's see what happened here. So I've started to take smaller touches, keeping that ball under control, going directly at my defender. So now he has to make a choice and try and anticipate where I'm going. He thinks that I'm going to go end line, so that means I could recognise that the space to the side of him is now unmarked. So that's where I'm going to take my touch. Take small touches, then I make my move. He's off balance, I can get my shot away. So the final thing that every winger needs to have is great technique, so that every chance that you get, whether you've beat a man end line and you're able to get a cross in, or if you're cutting inside and getting a shot off, if you have great technique, you're never going to waste a chance. Every shot's going to be on target, every cross is going to get into the box. And especially at the top level, where the chances of getting crosses in and shots become far less than they do at the lower levels, you need to make sure your technique is very sharp. Now, if you want to learn some drills that are going to make you more effective in your crossing, click the link right here. It's going to take you to a training session, and at the end of that video I do a drill specific for wingers that's really working on going at the fullback in a simulation situation and getting the cross in. Another great way to practice your technique as a winger of getting that whip on the ball for your crossing, for your shooting, is to practice free kicks. Curling free kicks are a great way to practice your technique. And if you want to learn how to practice, click on the link right here. It's going to take you to a curling free kick tutorial. And if you master that technique, it's really going to help you as a winger. Not only is it going to help you take better free kicks, but it's also going to improve your crossing technique to make them more accurate, more dangerous for when you put the curl on the ball, and better at shooting overall. So that's everything I have for you today. That's all the different attributes, the different skills, and the different roles that are needed to be an effective winger, especially at the top level. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Big thanks to Boost Football for helping me film this video. Make sure you check out their channel. It's on the screen right now. If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more tutorials and more training videos every single week. And as always, leave a comment with any further questions, and I'll see you in the next video.